recording.
All right. So, sorry if my chair creaks. So, it's an old chair. So, hello everybody. Welcome to the rescue mission. How are we all doing tonight?
Fantastic. How are you?
Good.
I'm doing just fine. My name is Thomas, and I'm with the Table Candle showing off Hero Builder, which thank you all for wanting to join in and play test it, because it does have a few more little bugs and tweaks and odds and ends, and anything that's kind of like mentioned and talked about is great. So, and like you guys are also doing a review of it, so please, I hope you enjoy it.
I will do my best.
So all of you have been hired, just so everybody kind of understands. You've all been hired by an unknown benefactor, but most of you have figured out one way or another it's a criminal, one of the biggest criminal bosses in the entire underworld of the universe. In point of fact, he is the biggest opponent of the Authority. Now, the Authority is basically, how to describe them correctly, they are very oppressive, they take over worlds, and they are mostly human. So you know that saying of oh, the most dangerous species is humans? Yeah, the Authority is that. Very dangerous humans.
So we're the rebellion. Dibs on Han Solo.
Kind of like the rebellion. Like there's other nations out there and other major powers, but the Authority is one of the big ones, and if you're not human, you're kind of looked down upon. So naturally. So all of you are in. It's okay, Andrew. I understand. Oh dear. Andrew cannot hear us.
Hey, I'm not recording this for me. I don't have to edit this time.
So, I think Andrew's in, yeah, I think Andrew's not in the Discord.
He says he is.
Says he is. Yarp. He's in both. Oh well.
Who isn't? Someone isn't.
He's not listening to the voice channel.
He's not in the voice channel.
No good Roll20 session has ever not started without a false start. So we're good.
True. This is not the craziest start I've ever had. I started Vampire the Masquerade session once, and everyone just kind of showed up in their own time. For the first session, I'm like, oh, gee, thanks. Of course, that was like everybody. There was like lots of people around the world. One in Saudi Arabia, one in Canada, one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast. So it was horrible getting it all started.
That used to happen with us. Although I put forth the mandate that okay, we're gonna start at 9 because we stream, so it's like we need to get on a schedule so people know when to tune in. I was like, we're gonna start at 9. If you guys aren't here, then you guys come in whenever you want, but I'm gonna start without you. And ever since I put that forward, people have been showing up at 9.
Yeah. Give them a hard time. So
I think I've been pretty flexible, sir.
I think he's in. Welcome.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Sweet baby Jesus. He's in.
And now we've got echoing.
It is a little.
Okay, make sure you have receiving voice turned off in Roll20, because it's going to by default broadcast across both of them. So I only have video turned on Roll20 right now, going both ways. I'm recording the desktop audio from Discord.
Gotcha.
Sorry, my shooting's in it. Hungry. All right, so are we all ready? Are we all set?
Yep.
All right. The authority has kidnapped a crime boss's child. In fact, you were only when you were given the job and arrived at the destination to board the crime boss's personal ship were you given her name. Nelitia. Natalia. I cannot say the name. I wrote the name. Nehahai. There we go. Nehahai.
Her name's
That's it.
Jill.
Name's Jill. Everyone will just call her Jill. So when I bring her on the board, she'll have this really complex name, but it will just be Jill. So
Space
You are
pronunciation.
you're to rescue the daughter from an authority complex, and I have that particular complex written. So you're to rescue her from the authority station 445 and cell block 4, cell 8. Upon delivery of the child, 100,000 credits will be deposited into each of your banks, and that is like a small fortune in the cosmology. So, very good money. So, all of you are currently in the ready room. By ready room, it's full of smuggled goods and things that were already kind of heading to a different location. So all of you are in this cargo hold, and you see each other. Along with each other, you see 3 figures that are also on there. So the gray guy, the little porcelain doll, and the shouty lady. I'll go over each one of them and what they exactly look like. The large gray guy is, I would say, about 8 foot tall, very huge, very muscled, wears a nice pink shirt, long vest, and he carries around a very large wrench with Mongo riveted into the side. He is grayish, bluish skinned, with pointy ears and tusks. And at this point, I'm going to say, who should I have do a roll? Who has knowledge xenomorph zoology? I think it's Donchan.
You talking about me?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going for Docnon, but you guys can just call me Doc.
So, Docnon, roll a d20 and add your knowledge of xenobiology.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, he's got tusks. He's definitely got tusks. He's definitely an alien. He ain't human.
He is on the endangered species list.
And up on a crate, right next to this very big, huge guy, is a small, about child-sized porcelain doll. And from the moment you guys walked in, this doll's moving around. This doll is moving around and is talking very, very happily and very like cheery, and just overall seems like a very cheery disposition. And she's wearing a nice, simple blue dress and a short bob red haircut. I mean, that's kind of odd. I mean, for those who know magic, which I would guess are polymorphed fish, would understand that magic is involved. And finally, there is a female in a very long orange loincloth, a weird blue canister on her belt, and there's really nothing else interesting about her. She just kind of is just leaning against a barrel, looking off and looking at everybody in the room. Now that those are the NPCs, describe your characters. Let's start with Do-chan, because you were the one who rolled.
All right, so Doknun, or however you want to pronounce it, he doesn't care, is a big, probably about the same height as the orc-looking fellow in the corner, and is clad in what appears to be exotic or even, extraterrestrial, I guess would be the best word for it. Animal hides, including the weird-looking hat he has on, mask, I don't know. And from what you've seen kind of coming out from underneath the mask, it looks like he has kind of fungal features as well. And his skin is kind of partly hide, partly kind of hard chitinous fungal material.
All
He
right.
wields a giant hammer of unknown origin.
All right, interesting. All right. Next up is our wonderful cybernetic Samoy. Although, yes? No, I
Bark, bark.
Yes.
Bork.
Bork.
So I hope that explains everything. So no, I am Chevron. I am a. Chevron was once just a regular old dog, but her owner wanted her to live a little bit longer than the normal, 10 to 15 years of a Samoy. So she cybernetically enhanced her dog that wound up outliving her. And now people kind of hunt down Chevron if they need special favors and stuff. They don't have to deal with the conscience of more sentient life. So if they gotta send Chevron in there to do some stealing, to sniff something out, or to do a little bit of bloodshed, she has a.
Can she talk?
Basically She can't. No, she's nonverbal, but she's sentient. She knows what people are saying. She communicates more with normal dog stuff like pointing, wagging her tail.
All right.
And stuff. She has a hydraulic jaws.
Would you say she's doggedly?
She has a.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't hear what you said. What'd you say?
Is she doggedly determined?
Oh yes, she is doggedly determined. Yes. No, she's generally a pretty good boy. I think that's she's mostly just a robot though. She's a robot dog. She's got the brain of a dog. She does, and she has the jaws of life and can exert over 3,000 pounds of pressure per square inch on her bite. So,
all right,
she's just a dog, robot dog.
She's a robot dog. Which, by the way, you notice that the little porcelain doll continually looks over at your character. So it continues looking over at Chevron a lot, like a little girl who's very fascinated with a new toy. Like, ooh, new toy over there.
Okay. I know that we're introducing. Can I go up and can I smell as close as I can to smell the doll?
Sure thing. While you're doing that, introduce. Let's go on to the next introduction. Who wants to go next? I'm keeping it in the back of my mind that you're walking up, so you can move your character closer to the porcelain doll if you want.
I suppose just for the sake of simplicity, I'll go next.
All right.
Today I play Kelnazo the Gilded. Kelnazo was once a very promising young space wizard, until he cast a spell that backfired horribly and turned himself into a talking goldfish. He now inhabits a fishbowl in the belly of an old golem that he once created. The embarrassment of his current form, combined with his feelings of inadequacy at having the spell backfired in the first place, has sort of engendered in him a very short fuse and a very deep-seated, inferiority complex, which he tries to hide with aggressive belligerency.
I see.
Or is he just a really smart goldfish who thinks he was a space wizard?
That's actually interesting,
Okay.
but then I would have to ask where I
we
got
need to be
magic
asking.
from.
These are the questions. And how do you appear to everybody? Like, what's the golem look like and everything?
So in my mind, it sort of looks like G1 Megatron, and I'm just like in a fishbowl in its stomach.
Oh, okay.
Like Krang style.
All right. I like it. So you're currently leaning against the boxes, and maybe you're talking to Dao-chan, and finally, last but not least, is Titus.
So I'm like a giant bipedal beetle, except I still have like the two middle arms coming out of like my chest that they're small, much smaller, and that's pretty much the same colors that I am. And I've got the horn coming up off the back.
All right.
I used to be a an Imperial Guard until my lieutenant mate insulted me, and I punched him in the face. And then I drank away my sorrow, and I said, "Enough of this. Let's make money and kill people."
Was that well known that you punched your superior in the face?
I imagine it would have gotten around.
All right.
I thought you were gonna say I used to be a space wizard and then turn into a beetle.
All beetle all the time.
Well, actually, with that, you notice that the very large tusked man continually looks over at you, and he's like, it's like recognition's appearing on his face, like, I think I've heard of you. Kind of look on his face. So, with that in mind, you're currently flying, and feel free to roleplay. So, just to start off with, the dog has walked up to the doll. Doll. How adorable. So, describe what you do.
Chevron's going to
What's Chevron do?
try to smell this doll, just make sure has a really keen sense of robotic dog smell. So she's gonna try and walk up there and does she have any type of like organic material in her, or is she like purely synthetic?
She seems to be completely synthetic, but there's just something. Actually, you know what? Let me take a quick look at your character sheet. I have it on my. The reason why I wanted you guys to send it was that way I could keep a tab on what everybody could do. You know what? Do an awareness check.
Okay.
Roll a d20 and add your awareness bonus.
5.
Okay.
Shit.
Natural 20. I'm going to let's see here. Let's see, where are you? Shoot, who had the dog? I can't remember who had the dog. It's Andrew, right?
That's me.
Yeah, it's Andrew. All right, I'm going to like write something to you privately. There you go. Use that with what you will. It pops as you sniff her. This suddenly your like doggy sense immediately confirms this to you, that she is more than just a doll.
Okay. Sit, and I'm going to wag my tail, playfully, respectfully, and
Alright.
stare up like intently at this doll.
She looks down at Chevron, smiles, and she says, "You're a very intelligent one, aren't you?"
A little bit faster.
She reaches down and pets your head. Do you let her?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
She pets your head, and the very large man chuckles, and he looks over at Titus and walks over to you, seeming to like, kind of like a parent just going, the kid's playing with the dog. Walks over to Titus and extends a hand, and he says, "I think I've heard about you. You're the one that's hit their superior in the face for, I think it was
Don't say
giving
it.
money off the top." What was it?
I said, "Don't bring up that. I don't like to think much about that."
He goes, he slaps you on the shoulder, and he goes, "I punched my superiors in the face a couple of times. I was in the army too, not in your particular army, but I was in the Rose Wars on my planet."
Yeah, well, this life's a A little bit less complicated.
He chuckles and he goes, I can understand that. And he points over at Jotar. He says, you, get over here. The big boy's got to talk. What do you do?
You talking to me?
Yes.
All right.
You go over. He kind of repositions himself, so he's kind of like looking out. And he goes, name's Clamp, by the way. What's your name?
Doc. Easy enough.
Good name. How about you? I think I remember your name. Yeah. It's Chalzo the Gilded, isn't it?
Oh, he's talking to me?
Yeah, he's talking to you. He suddenly looks over and is pointing at you.
What? Yeah. What's it to you?
He goes, you're the one that polymorphed himself. That gave me quite a chuckle when it was told to me.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, that's funny to you, is it? Bringing my disability to light like that? Let me tell you something, all right? My disability does not define me, sir. All right, you take a look at this face. Take a look at this face. This is the face of overcoming adversity. They're going to put this face on a magazine one day. And when you're standing at the newsstand and you're looking at that magazine, hope your penis falls off.
He says, oh, there are fine words there, Tiny. I am in the mood for a bit of seafood.
The golem sort of slams his hands together, sparks come out, and he's like, yeah, I don't think you want to try that, Gray Man.
What do you two do? What's
Punch
Tiny?
with interest.
I'm going to. I'm just gonna stick with the little girl. I'm just a dumb dog.
She continually pets at you and is looking over very disapprovingly at Clamp, and she, in a very small voice, she goes, "Clamp, now don't be making fun of the fish. They have very tiny brains."
Okay, how would he respond to that?
He's a fish. He's got a tiny brain. I'm just messing with you.
No, I know. I'm actually trying to think about this in character. Yeah, okay. Say what you want about the fish. The fish only got a 3-minute memory, huh? Is that it? In 3 minutes, I'll forget what you said? That's okay. That's okay. You just underestimate the magical fish that has amazing cosmic powers and can shoot lightning. I'll be over here if you need me. Which, by the way, I'm getting paid a pretty penny for this.
Hey, Goldie, I hear you used to be a space wizard.
Yeah, them's was the days. I was a pretty space wizard, too. And, of course, that was before the accident. Now I'm stuck in this thing. You know, some things don't just work out the way you think.
I used to be a space wizard, too.
Oh, yeah? What happened to you? Steroids? Get the best of you.
I accepted the reality of not being a space wizard and grew up.
That sounds exceedingly boring, my friend.
Clamp starts laughing his ass off. He starts laughing his ass off. And he's like, I like this one. At this point, the one woman that's in the corner in nothing but that loincloth and that canister on her side walks over and looks at the goldfish, and she goes, don't mind the big brute. He likes to poke people's buttons.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. We got people like that where I come from, too. It's fine. This is why I make fireballs for fun.
She goes, fireballs?
Well, okay, technically I've only got lightning at the moment. Fire doesn't exactly work well in an undersea environment, but you get where I'm going with this.
I can see that. And she goes, and then suddenly her head shifts and changes like 1,000 little, for lack of better words, nanobots rearranges, and suddenly it's your head on her body. And she goes, maybe...
So wait, is it to scale, or does she have like this little goldfish head at the tip of her neck?
No, it's to scale. It's
Okay.
to scale it. Like her
I don't know which is worse.
And she goes, it must be awful being a goldfish all the time. And she says this as the goldfish. She says, I would never be able to clean my gills properly.
Yeah, it's not fun. You see this water? I live in this water all the time. I poop in this water. It's not a great existence. I need to get the hell out of here.
She goes, I do know a good aquatic guy. He has a good filtration system he might be able to lend you.
I think I'll just take the money and not be a fish anymore. Thank you very much. But that is helpful. I do appreciate that.
She goes, oh, well. I mean, after all, being a fish might be fun. So, as all of you are chatting, through the door walks a woman. And to say the least, she is covered head to foot in a very strange black attire. Just imagine if someone said, hey, you know the xenomorph? Let's make that a fashion statement. This is her. She's definitely human. But she has like this weird xenomorph body costume as she walks in the door. And looks at all of you.
Hey, what kind of weirdo are you? You got the weirdest art style of all of us.
She doesn't look at all amused. She has a folder on right next to her chest, and she's just looking at all of you through very squinted eyes and very pursed lips.
I swim up to the edge of the fishbowl and glare back.
She goes, very well. We are about to arrive at our destination. And all of you are just chatting away instead of getting prepared to save my boss's daughter.
Doc Nun is always prepared.
Excuse me, ma'am. I just have to ask, do you shoot lightning? Do you shoot lightning? Because if the answer is no, I would like to know your expertise on preparing to shoot lightning. Because I assure you, madam, I, as a professional lightning shooter, am fully prepared to shoot lightning at whatever happens to cross our paths. And I do not appreciate the insinuation that I, the professional lightning shooter, am not doing my job.
If her looks could turn into manifest, it would be lightning. She gives you her eyes stream lightning towards you, not actual or literally. It just feels like lightning has just suddenly been bolted at you.
I completely just give her the worst I can with my expressionless goldfish face. Just
I'm loving this.
Has a real keen eye for social awkwardness. She's gonna come over in between these two and just roll on the ground, like her paws, laying on her back, her paws up, gonna wag her tail, trying to diffuse this situation a little bit.
You see the doll also walks up behind you, and as you start rolling around on the floor, the little porcelain doll walks up as well, and she looks at the dog. She looks at Chevron, and just gives like a child, just that childlike wonder of just like, I love puppies even though they have metal sticking out of them and are half cyborg. Kind of.
Yeah, on her stomach you can see a zipper. There's some LEDs layer blinking underneath of her fur. You can hear some like hydraulic presses and stuff like whistling away inside as she like moves around.
What do you do? What do you do? Calnizo, that's it. I got.
Oh, at the moment I'm focused on the lady and just sort of like waiting for like I assume she's delivering mission specs or the door's gonna open. We're gonna do stuff, but I'm kind of listening and ready to blow stuff up at the moment.
All right, what are you doing, Titus? She just walked in. You've been very quiet. Is Titus there?
Yep, I'm sorry. I'm just still sitting there munching on a very smelly, rotting apple. It's just
Alright.
like, just kind of like rolling my eyes, just. But it's like I'm not even like stopping at the core. I'm just eating the whole thing.
All right. This big beetle's eating this thing. You see the small porcelain doll walk up to the girl, to the woman, in between the dog and her. She walks up and she goes, excuse me. She goes, Anthra, Anthra, Anthra. We are being paid to get the daughter back. It is best that if all of us are in a cheery mood, for we face certain death in very shortly.
Might as well have a good time now before we face certain death. Yeah, okay.
The woman just looks a little disapprovingly. She goes, Lily, as the head of this operation, I expect you to get them in proper order. She turns around and leaves.
And what a head it is.
And what a head it is! So
this lady just came in to condescend to us. Did she get paid for that? I am in the wrong line of work if you can get paid to condescend to people. With a clipboard. Oh, you got a clipboard. You're official.
Are you saying that? Are you saying that out loud?
I'm kind of like saying it to the people behind me. But I mean, I'm not particularly going to shrink back if she hears me.
All right.
I too would like to be paid to condense.
Clamp nods. The woman turns her head back to normal, and she goes, "Yeah, she's a right old bitch, but what can you expect?"
You know what? She's not too bad.
Really? The
I feel-
woman says.
Well, you know, she's not exactly fun to talk to, but again, I want that job. I want the job to walk around a clipboard and people think that my condescension is official. That seems like something I could use on my resume.
I think you've got plenty of condescension to go around.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
At this point, Lily, the little porcelain doll, gets up onto the barrel that's in between all of you. The woman moves a step back, and you see Lily kind of gathering everyone around. Clamp has, at this point, taken his wrench, turned it upside down, and is now leaning on it very casually. Lily addresses all of you. She goes, all right. In all reality, she is right. We need to prep. We will be there very shortly. Once we arrive, we need to know our designated tasks.
I'm listening.
She looks at Titus.
Just tell me who's ass to kick. That's what I'm here for.
She nods. Dochan?
Yes, the little girl that can't defend herself, I will defend it.
You see Clamp give you a broad smile, like, I like you. I keep liking you more and more.
I am asexual, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
She then looks at the dog, and she looks at Chevron, and Chevron, for the first time, you hear a voice in your head. It's her voice, and she goes, "Are you ready, pup?"
Holy shit, this is a problem. I'm gonna go to the corner and maybe pee a little bit, belly
I was
crawl.
gonna say, is that why you're going to the corner?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to
She
the corner,
looks at
maybe
the
pee a
dog
little bit.
off the
This is
tree. She looks a little perplexed, and she goes, "Well, I didn't mean to. Oh, I'm very sorry." In any case, she looks a little saddened at what she just did. She looks back at all of you, and she goes, "Right. We are splitting up into 2 teams. Titus, Diaochen, Calzone. She looks at you and she goes, "How do you pronounce your name? It's very odd."
My name is Kelnazo the Gilded, ma'am. It's very common where I come from in Space Bronx.
Okay. Okay, Cal. You can, wherever you want, you're going to be on that team. And if the dog is willing, Chevron, are you okay?
I'll give it tentative wag.
She goes,
for now. No more brain invasion. I can understand what people are saying. My processors are pretty good, so.
She goes, I did not know that. As you say that in your head.
Like 32 gigabytes of RAM. It's real nice.
She looks over and she says, you four will be the actual extractors. Me, Clamp, and Gloria, and she points to the topless woman who turned her head into a fish, will be going and distracting most of the guards and basically making sure they don't overrun you.
Hey, I mean, that fish head trick, that's got to be good for something.
Gloria smiles, and then suddenly she turns into a perfect copy of you. And I'm not just talking about the fish. She's turned into your golem. Like, she could pass for you.
Well, hey, I know who to hide behind when the shooting starts. Actually, I'm just kidding. I'll probably pick the rhino-headed guy and the beetle, but I appreciate the enthusiasm.
She says through the goldfish's mouth in her exact voice, she goes, yeah, I am rather useful, aren't I? Does anybody ask what she is?
Just another space wizard, I guess.
Actually, Chevron, make another awareness roll. You're the one that has the awareness. I'm making you use it.
In front of me, I was about to roll like real dice here. That's not helpful.
I'm just gonna keep eating. I like finish up the apple and then I reach in to like my bag and I pull out like his orange. It just smells awful. Just start munching it like with the skin on and everything.
And you know what? Daochin, do a xenobiology roll as well.
All right.
All right. Both of you figure it out at the same time. She's a nanoswarm. She's quite literally a collection of nanobots that can reflect and reflect light, and Chevron notices the magical aspect. Not only are they half technical, they are half magical as well.
So being half robot.
She immediately turns into a male version of you and wags her tail.
Trying to scare my dog.
So, no offense, but who put you together? Cause was it like a weird sex thing? Cause I'm seeing a lot of fetish fuel here.
The dog looks at you and she says, "I was created by some of the greatest minds in the Authority."
Hey, no judgment. I mean, some of the best technological advances come from, pornography and stuff. I'm just saying. Little weird.
She goes, "I was developed to be a advanced infiltration unit, and then I decided I didn't want to do that and destroyed my containment lab, destroyed the people who created me, and burned all the evidence."
Yeah, I don't think I blame you there.
She says, she turns back into her normal self, cocks a hip, and she goes, "Now, Lily, where exactly are we doing?" Lily points at Gloria. She says, "You're going to be distracting guard. Me and Clamp are just going to be walking around, basically patrolling and making sure nobody gets on the ship while they're off getting the girl." Clamp suddenly looks a little fishy-eyed. He looks over at Diao-chan. Lily, I prefer you to go with Diao-chan. Lily looks a little perplexed. What does Diao-chan do?
Yes, that's fine.
She goes, if you're okay with that, Clamp. He smiles and he goes, don't worry. I'll make sure nobody kicks my ass. You go on with them. They're going to probably need your help.
So
After
I sort
all,
of
he looks at the huge guys, the wizard and the dog, and goes, none of them are healers.
I sort of swim over to Doc, and I put up the fish fin and whisper, "This guy is so dead by the time we get back."
So, you guys finalize the plan. So she says that you guys are going to have, once they dock, and she uses quotation marks for some reason, you guys are to go to the right, make a left, and then you'll be in the cell block. You'll probably have to deal with a couple guards, and then get the girl out. Sound like a plan? All
That
right.
sounds like something I can do.
Sounds pretty easy.
All right. And then a left.
Is Chevron's mind still like linked to the shapeshifter, the nano?
All right.
Is that how her power works?
Do you send out a Bluetooth connection?
Well, I will do my best. Yes.
All right, you send out a Bluetooth connection. You connect. You can now talk in secret if you want. She accepted your friend request.
Nothing too secretive right now. I'm just curious if she's worked with these two before.
She goes, yes. Although they've never been separated.
Everything turned out okay with that?
Yeah, mostly. And she uses like that as like a jokingly, like, mostly it turned out right.
That's enough. That's enough for me.
So, all of you eventually arrive. And by arrive, I mean there's an announcement over the PA system, and suddenly there's a huge lurch, and the cargo bays that are right next to you blink red. After a few moments, you notice that the doors open, and there is a umbilical cord linking you to the side of a huge space station. Now, this space station is massive. When you guys walk through that tube, it has to be the size of, let's see, a small city. It has to be the size of a small city. And you guys see a corridor on the other side, and the umbilical cord is not attached to a docking bay. It's actually been attached to the side and a hole ripped open with very fancy, schmancy robotic limbs and arms.
You know, I respect that efficiency. That is a very efficient manner of egress. They ain't wasting time making us walk around to the door.
Is there any type of alarm going off?
You hear alarms going off. Yes. Clamp makes his way out into the hall and stands ready. You see Gloria flip out and go around the corner and disappear.
Subtle.
I'll be right on Clamp's heels.
All right. Lily, in her turn, looks at Yao Chan and she points at his shoulder and go, "Can I ride?" Yao Chan?
Oh yeah, I'm going good. Coming.
She wants a piggyback ride.
Oh yeah, hop on.
She hops on. She's behind your character for some reason. And now I can't find her.
Now she's gone.
She's gone. She's gone forever. There she is.
I'm gonna offer Doc up a piece of rotting fruit.
All right.
Can I make a xenobotany check to see if I know what that is?
Sure. You kind of know what it is.
He knows enough to know that's rotting.
Oh, well enough to know that it's rotting.
Fruits from my world tried to eat me while I tried to eat them. This should be easy. I consume it with gusto.
All right. So, Clam points behind him down the hall, the opposite direction that Gloria flew, and he points and he goes, that way. Make a left, and then make a right.
No, it was make a right, then make a left.
What? It was make a right and make a left.
That was my fault. I apologize. It's make a left and make a right. That's why. Otherwise, we'd have absolutely no room. So that's my fault. I totally admit to it. I'm a terrible person.
Okay.
All right. So
I'll use my hydraulic pause and try and sneak my way as quickly as possible, like around the corner.
make a roll.
I figure I'm the smallest, besides the doll.
Mm-hmm.
Me?
Yeah.
I will use my
D20
golem
plus.
legs and trudge languidly.
And you can use your power, which, by the way, powers outside combat just automatically just replenish. So, Chevron, you could do your hydraulic pause and +3 to it. So,
Yeah, not the best.
oh, the LED lights give you away the most, but in all reality, it's actually 16 because you forgot to add your thief skills, which is a +10.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So
plus
it's
10.
actually-
okay.
it's actually-
Not bad.
So you're pretty sneaky, but you can't tell exactly how sneaky you are.
Move up and how far can I move?
You move up to the corner and are able to peer around without being noticed. This way just seems to be a longer corridor, but that's left. On the wall of this station, you notice a sign. The sign says, this way, and this way, minimum, max is all that's written. Not that crudely, of course. It's all very technological and beautiful looking, but that's what's written. Minimum's that way, maximum is that way. And you can deduce easily maximum security is that way. Is this way. And you can see slightly down the hall, and about to there, you start noticing cells. Gonna draw the cells. Some point, bam. Cell there. Cell there. And 4 down. I like drawing as I go. I'm sorry. Cell there.
You know, if it helps, I think holding shift in Roll20 snaps the line to the grid, if I'm not mistaken. Or that might be a different tool.
I think that's a different tool
Okay.
because I just tried it and it didn't do anything.
All right, then by all means, ignore me.
It's okay. So you see a couple cells, and there are indeed what appears to be a few authority guards. No, stop. Come back. Boo select. There's 2 authority guards. They all seem, and both of them are in like pure white armor that looks plastic, and each one of them has this huge maulish hammer, but is completely clear, looks like plastic, and there appears to be a liquid in it. And there are 4 of these guys, along with what appears to be a very large robot that also has a similar motif of sterile white and plastic. They do not see the dog. Not yet.
Mm.
But the rest of you do. The dog's looking down intently.
Over just a little bit, maybe out of the vantage point.
Hey, K9, what you see?
I can't talk. Oh, and then the fucking nano chick's gone.
Bark twice for danger.
Yeah, I will kind of mouth out 2 barks. Don't wanna alert anyone.
All right.
That's
Lily-
not a buck. It must be safe down there.
Yeah, what does pantomime mean?
Do you guys just walk around the corner, not heeding the dog?
I'll walk up kind of cautiously since I don't really know what's going on.
All right. You walk up cautiously, not really knowing what's going on. Lily's on your shoulder, and she's patting you on the side, and she whispers in your ear. She goes, "The dog sees something."
How can you tell? You speak dog?
She glares back at you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was insulting your dog-speaking culture. Jeez.
You guys move up, and the guards are currently by the jail cells, and they still haven't heard you guys. What do you do? There are 4 guards and what appears to be a very large, menacing robot.
Are they sort of just standing there, or are they like patrolling?
They are just standing there. Like 2 are on. This one's on this cell. This one's on this cell. This one's on this cell. This one's on this cell, and the robot's standing in between them all. And it looks like even though the alarm's going off, they are expressionless. You can't even see their faces. They've got this weird hockey mask on.
Guys, they hired Jason. We got to get the hell out of here.
They're Canadians. We gotta.
Canadians.
Jason X as it is.
The most dangerous of all monsters, Canadians. I'm just messing.
Or no, actually, guys, if these are Canadians,
No,
we just have to
Quinn's
walk
not
up and
here.
ask politely. Like that's how we defeat this module. We just got to be nice.
So, what does? All right, hold on.
Actually, first of all, I'd like to apologize to High Level Games because it's the second recording I've done for a Canadian company that has involved Canadian jokes. So, go Minasari. You're cool, Quinn. I like you. Happy Canada Day, buddy.
Go hockey.
Go hockey. Maple syrup.
Yeah,
Moose.
we love.
Milk in a bag.
I love Canada. It's a beautiful country. That's why I like making fun of it. I make fun of America too, so I'll
Yeah,
say
I'm with you.
burgers. I'm actually eating burgers right now, so that's how more American can that be. So, with that in mind, does anybody round the corner?
I mean,
Oh,
I'm not
you
going to
know,
lead that vanguard.
Yeah, I'll give everybody kind of a knowing glance. Like, when you saw me, you knew what I was going to be doing. This is not my fault.
It's on.
And I'll just charge down the corridor.
All right. You charge down the corridor?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you round the corner. The guards immediately perk up at that. You have Lily on your shoulder, and as you charge, she suddenly jumps down to the floor to here as you charge around the corner, and roll a d6. You get to there and combat starts.
Rad.
So, roll for initiative. I'm keeping initiative on my computer. So, let me bring up the initiative. Oh, shoot. Why did it close? How dare you close on me?
You will obey your master, computer.
Obey me. Let's see here. We have Chevron.
The best rolls.
Chevron, Titus.
Shit. That's some good initiative.
Old.
That's some damn good initiative.
Ed, I didn't even see that. for initiative.
Fast dog. Chaz's golem has a startup sequence.
Yeah, I figured he's just this long trundling friggin' thing.
I gotta
I'll get there
prime it
eventually.
twice.
Yeah,
All right.
gotta
Really
unplug
hope this
it,
isn't
plug
like
it back in. It's an old golem.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And who's the
I hope
last?
this isn't a Jason movie because the dog always dies first, and that fucking dog.
Okay, so let me take a quick look at everybody's rolls. Titus rolled a beautiful, healthy 5. Chaz rolled an 8. And your character was, which one was it? Trying to remember. I go by character names, I'm sorry. Yours is the goldfish. 8 versus an 8. Dao Chen's is Chevron, Chaz. 12 or 6?
I'm sorry, what's up?
You know what? Just so I know, just say your character's name and because I'm looking over there, I can't quite remember everybody's names to characters.
Sure. So Doc Nen's initiative is 12.
12, and Chevron's is
8.
8. All right, let me roll for everybody else.
It should be 28, right?
28. 28.
He
Yes.
cut out at a most unfortunate time.
28. And Lily's is, oh, that's not bad. The Mex is, okay. And the Authority merchants are, wow, lowest roll. So, first up is Chevron. What do you do? So, combat works with 2 actions. You have 2 actions, and I'll quickly go over what you can do with those lovely 2 actions for combat. So, let me quickly go down and into combat. So, actuality, you know what? I'm just going to save a bunch of time and copy, paste. There, that's everything you can do. It's now pinned.
Aha, in the Discord.
So you have, in Discord, I've now done everything you can do in combat. You have 2 actions, and on your character sheet, you have 2 action points. Once per round, you can spend an action point, but you only get those back via sleep. So use them wisely. They give you an extra action. So, what do you do, Chevron?
Hey, is my mic sensitivity better now? Is that too loud for people?
That's good.
fine.
Yeah, I can do 2 of these actions. Okay. Let me
All
see
right.
these.
Declare what you do, because that's very important that everybody knows exactly what you're doing.
Take is so running and attacking, so I can move 6 spaces. I don't think I can get up to anybody with just my movement, so I will I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just going to move right there.
Your actual movement is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can move 11 spaces for a standard move action because your dexterity bonus is +5, so you get 6 + 5.
Okay. Wow, then I guess I'll just move and attack.
All right.
I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna spend one of my power points that I have. I want to use Jaws of Life on this guy, and
All right. Hang on. Just so you know, you can bite, and it is a standard attack. But in order to use Jaws of Life, you need 2 actions. If you look at the
oh, you got a full power. Okay, yeah, then I'll just bite him. I'll bite this dude.
All right, make your roll. You're attacking him.
Plus, that's just a D20 plus my.
Yep, that is a hit. And when I say hit, I mean it is barely a hit. So, roll for damage. 10. Describe how you attack.
Going to go SWAT dog style on this guy and just go right for the robo jugular.
All right.
Take a big bite out of that if she can.
You attack. He raises his arm, and you bite down. You pierce some of the plastic, and you can see blood running down. He shakes you off. He's not down, but he's hurt. So, next up, after Chevron, is the mech. And the mech will do this. 1, 2, 3, 7, 9, 10. Yep, I made him correct. He goes to there and makes an attack. He's suddenly
Saved me the trouble.
You see 2 rockets on the back of it suddenly burst into flame, and he rockets down the pipeline coming straight at you. And as he runs into you, he swings one of his giant metal arms. And hang on, I gotta switch dice here. I'm using an online thing. Makes his roll, and it is a. What is your fortitude?
Fortitude is 14.
14? Yep, that's a hit.
Okay.
You get knocked back 2 spaces, and you are dealt 26 points of damage. As he slams his arm across your chest.
Yeah. That does more than just knock the wind out of me.
So you're hurting at this point. Next up is you. You're up next. He just hit you.
All right. Undeterred, I will move back into melee range, which I think will take a full standard action.
You can use an action point to make that walk not affect your ability to use the power.
It's gonna take one of my 2 action points.
Mm-hmm. It'll take one of your 2 action points.
No, I'll take the penalty.
Okay, you run up and you attack him?
Yeah.
All right. So make your club attack.
Slayer gives +1 to melee attacks, is that right?
What was it?
The Slayer
Yes.
perk. Okay. So I'm at -2 for 2 spaces, right?
Right.
And I think I'm going to use my...
You can use Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
And give yourself a +3, so it kind of negates that first step you take. So you can, so as a thing, you could use an action point, use one of your actions to give yourself Hunter's Mark, and then run and attack him. And because you are within range, you get a +1, and the -2 is dispelled by your Hunter's Mark. So you would actually be rolling a +9 to hit instead if you do it that way.
Okay.
So make your attack roll.
Okay.
And make sure you subtract the 6 power points from your powers.
Right.
That is a hit. Roll for damage. He is still up. Describe what you do with your club.
All right, so you see the kind of weird growth that was coming out from underneath this guy's neckline start to surge down to his arms, and they make the strike more swift, it seems, as he like swings with almost inhuman or in alien speed, and brings the hammer down onto this thing, smashing it down and back, but you know, rebounding off as it yet survives.
All right. You smack him, and actually, I kind of find it funny. This big thing runs up, slams you with all it's got, and then you just walk up to it and slam it right back.
Oh yeah.
Pure Titanic badassery. Next up is Lily. Lily points to right here, if I can do it. Right there. And oh, Titus left. I hope he comes back soon because Lily just gave you guys 2 extra actions.
Oh shit.
So it gave the goldfish shoot, what's his Calzino. I'm going to make sure I write that name because right now it's written as goldfish.
You can do it. I it's not gonna bother me. No matter what you call me, whatever's easiest for you. In your
No,
notes.
a hero should be called by their name.
You can call me Ted if you want, for all I care. I'm not gonna worry about it.
Calnizo, you are next, and you have 4 actions because of Lily. She points at you, and you suddenly feel this strange sense of pure, raw determination suddenly fill your little fishy behind, and you're like, I want a piece of that crap. And you have 4 actions you can do.
All right, gonna go get a piece. How are diagonals counted in this game?
1 space.
1 space. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
You can move through allies
Okay.
as long as the ally doesn't say no. And all spell range, all ranged weapons and spells are up to 10 spaces.
Okay. So first, 1 action to move. For my second action, without dipping into lilies, I can do something that costs 6 points or less, right?
Right.
Okay. So I'm going to spend 4 power points. Where are my power points? Right there. I spend 4 power points. Again, Calnazo begins waving his fins through the water. The golem pantomimes at best it can. The air around his hands warp and bend, and all of a sudden, Doc begins to almost phase out of existence as I boost his AC by 2. And as that happens, I swim around the bowl, looking perplexed as best I can with my fish expressionless face and say, "Oh gee, how'd that happen? It's not like there's a space wizard here or nothing." And then I'd like to use my my last 2 actions to cast a 9-point power. Yes.
All right. Which one?
I have a question. How would Got Your Nose work against a mechanical thing since I can't technically fleshcraft? Is it completely immune, or can I still do damage with it?
You can still do damage. You're
All right.
the thing is, you're polymorphing him. Like it's flesh. It's just flavor. It's all flavor. So make your roll, and it's versus his fortitude, which I will say this.
This one you said was against will.
Oh, against will?
Yes.
Make a roll.
I will indeed make a roll. Thank you very much. Let's see.
It might be interesting.
$25 versus will.
25 versus will, and that is a miss. His will is a 30.
Oh,
So.
okay. Wow, holy! I can't hit that. Okay, okay, I can't hit that. Go for it. That is me.
That is you. Next up is Titus. But is Titus back?
Yes.
Yes, I'm here. So I'm going to.
Is
Okay.
your
Yeah, so because he's in the middle of the hall right here, can I, and I'm also big, can I scoot in next to him, or is he blocking my way?
which one? Your ally or the enemy?
Ally.
You can scooch in next to him. You can occupy the same space. And I will, if you want, I will allow Daochin to make a 5-foot step, considering he hasn't taken one for his round. There you go. Take 5-foot step. You guys clamber in, these 2 hulking giants against this giant mech. I love it. So what do? You have 4 actions. I don't know if you figured that out, but you have 4 actions because Lily gave you 2 extra.
All right, so I guess my first action is going to be a standard attack, which, based on my character sheet, is my natural weapons, right?
Yep. So make your roll.
That's a nope.
That is a nope. His armor class is higher than that. And now you have 2 more actions you can do, so I would use a power.
I'm going to try to fling him.
All right, you're doing your let me guess. Pincer Crush or Beetle Fling? You're doing Beetle Fling. That's it.
Nope. Nope, I'm not.
You try to Beetle Fling him. You seem to catch him, but he kind of just bends backwards a little bit, and your horn dislodges. You're unable to catch him. So
once upon a time in an old 4E game, I had a turn where I made a 1, a 2, and a 1 in attack rolls back to back in the same turn. So sorry guys, I'm gonna Will Wheaton this thing up.
All right. And it is top of the round, so everybody roll for initiative again. And tell me your initiative, character name, and your initiative.
Ted the Goldfish, 18.
Got 18.
Titus is at 9.
Titus got 9.
Duck nut 20.
Got 20. Nice roll. And
Chevron's got a 22.
22. With the highest, 22, Chevron goes first.
Alrighty, son. Try and turn this guy into kibble. My the full power. I'm gonna use that because that is points to use Jaws of Life.
All right.
So, I will do that, and that says it's versus Fortitude.
Uh-huh. Make your roll.
Do that. Regular attack, right?
Yep.
D20 plus. Okay. Come on, baby.
All right. So in Hero Builder, you have two options when you defeat an enemy. You can either let him live or you can kill him. So you can either describe how you take him down gently or how you kill him.
A
Is
single
your
point of
decision.
health left?
Huh?
Single point of health?
It doesn't matter. You took him below 0. You have full control over what happens to him.
Oh,
You
okay.
have defeated him.
My attack roll. That wasn't my damage.
Oh, that was your attack roll?
Fortitude, that's what it
what's
says.
the lowest amount of damage you can do?
So 2d8, so I mean
2d8 plus what?
Plus 9.
Okay, considering he only had 5 hit points left, your decision. Do you kill him or do you subdue him? You hit. You take him down. Do you kill him?
We still got lots of baddies. Yeah, I think she'd take this guy out.
All right, describe how you kill him.
You said last time that she jumped up, kind of moved his arm in the way. 3,500 pounds of pressure. So I'm gonna just tear off his arm and go back for the robo jugular and just tear that guy out.
You go for his jugular, and there is his one arm. He falls to the ground. His one arm's carded. His jugular's torn out, and there is just blood everywhere. The nice pristine walls, his nice pristine armor, and he is now covered in blood himself.
Egad, he hit him so hard he turned into a stick man.
I was gonna say him's already turned into an organic. I thought it was a robot.
I thought it was a robot. Whatever.
They had robot-like qualities, but they're definitely human.
Paint my dog red now. How do I?
Your dog is now completely red. So next up is Dao Chen. You're up next.
All right. I'm gonna try and, seeing my other big buddy run up next to me. I'm going to. Have we still have 4 actions, or are we down to 2 again?
You're down to 2 again. That was only for the round.
For the round, okay. So I'll go ahead and use my big power, show off a little bit.
All right.
Now, am I able to activate, since that's a damage enhancer, do I activate that after I hit or as part of an attack?
I'm currently looking. Which one are you currently doing?
This would be adrenaline shot. Oh, it's an attack, yeah, versus AC. Okay.
Yeah. It would be. Yeah, you would attack, and if it's successful, it does double weapon damage.
Okay. Now the other question would be the +3 that I have to hit. Is that still active?
No, that's only for the round. In order to make it last long.
Sorry, you cut out. What was that?
In order to make things last longer, it costs points. So you could make it last longer, but it would cost you more points because you would be adding duration onto it.
Gotcha. Okay, no problem.
But you can't do that next level.
Yeah.
So does that mean my my AC buff to Doc is also gone at the end of this round?
Yes.
Gotcha.
So make your roll.
Woof. Okay.
Wolf. Then that's versus armor class.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you miss. You miss. I'm sorry. You miss. Sometimes the dice are not in our favor. So, with that in mind, next up is Lily, who will wave her hand, and let's see here. It is 2 plus that. Roll. Ditus, you get 20 points of health back. Gotcha.
Who? Me? Okay.
Yeah, you get 20 points of health back. She heals you.
Sorely needed. Thank you.
And as the spell washes over you, you feel the sense of calmness and kindness. Calzino, shock these bastards.
Okay, well, how is the mech looking? Like, does it look like it's terribly damaged, or does it look like it's still got a lot of fight in it?
Hang on. Bringing up that particular piece of information, along with, you know what? You never got your skills. One of them, make leap in logic. So 5 plus your intelligence modifier. So plus 12 to a D20 roll, and I'll tell you if you figure out how badly damaged it is. And add to your skills list, leap in logic.
17, you got it.
It's looking hurt. I mean, like, your expertise is flesh and bone, and considering robots are basically just metal versions of that, it looks hurt.
Yeah, but I mean, like, is it, how badly damaged is it? I get that it is damaged, but does it look like a couple good volts will put it down? Does it look like,
maybe one more good hit might take it down?
All right, we're gonna do this.
And using that skill check was free, by the way.
Okay,
So
cool, thank you.
Your 2 actions are still in check.
All right, so we've already established I cannot hit its will. Let's attempt to hit the fortitude, I guess. So my Calnazo's amazing lightning power, the burst 1. How does that work? I pick a point on the map?
You pick a point on the map, and then you draw a square. So if I were to quickly grab orange and go on the outside. So if you like pick this point right here, this area would be affected.
Okay, so it's a blast 3 if I remember my 4th edition nomenclature, yes?
I believe so, yes, but in this one it's a blast 1.
Okay, gotcha. So we're going to try Calnazo's amazing lightning, and I'm going to try to put it on one of the back squares of the mech so that if my calculations are correct, it will not overlap with my allies.
All right.
All right.
Make your point.
I guess right there. Oh, I don't have... Bottom right of the mech.
Bottom right?
Yeah, with a 15, which I'm guessing does diddly.
Was it versus?
Versus fortitude.
It is electricity, so I'll give you a bonus because it's a mech. It relies on electricity, so you're mucking about with it. So
Yay for bonuses for random coming up with stuff.
You get, and yeah, you hit him. Roll for damage and take him down.
Sweet. Big 10.
10 points of damage?
Yes.
And that is, well, wait a minute. They're also held, aren't they? Or is that a different power?
That's a different power.
Okay. So...
I mean, yes.
No, I can look back in Discord and see that's a different power.
I'm kidding. I'm not gonna cheat.
I know.
I'm a GM too, man. We gotta stick together.
It looks like maybe you've definitely knocked it down to 2 points of health, and it's still going. But one more good hit, and it's down. And it's the mech's turn. The mech makes an attack roll against both of you. What are your guys' fortitudes?
14.
Yep, that's a hit, and that is
Sneaky
20.
GM rolls.
22 points of damage to both of you as he does a blast around himself. So he affects this area, hitting both of you for 22 points of damage each.
I don't know about you, but I'm nearly dead again.
That kills me 1.5 times.
That's slightly, just barely under half.
Oh shit, you know.
Holy
And
cow.
now it is Titus's
bitch.
turn.
Let's see. Give me a second. I'm gonna crush him. I do have a question. For the crush in the pincer crush and the middle legs crush, were they flipped around backwards? Because I want to do whichever ones. Because you had the pincer crush, which was supposed to be the damage one, with the held.
Pincer Crush should be the one that does damage and holds them, right?
I think you got it backwards. So
If that is the case, then
I've
because you described it as you picked him up and crushed him, and it sounded like you were holding him as you crushed him. Well, the other one was you're basically boxing them.
Okay. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna hit him. I'll keep it simple for now.
All right. I will say this: his reflex is his lowest. Might be beneficial. Just saying. Which one do you want to go with?
That's the
Fortitude.
voice I use as a DM when I want people to electrocute ochre jellies.
I'll go for the lower defense.
All right.
Ochre jelly. Give me a little zap.
That's a hit. Describe how you kill him. Or make him yield, but he's a robot, so I would honestly err to the side of you kill him.
Okay, so I'm just going to like lean in and then grab him between the back of my head and the giant pincer coming off the horn coming off the top, and just squeeze as hard as I can right at through the cockpit area.
All right.
Or the main part of the torso, and just like you hear this huge crunch as he just like this power down noise.
All right.
And that drop what's left.
You crush the cockpit, and as you do so, you notice something very odd. You've heard rumors about the Authority, but it seems this mech was not humanly driven. It was driven by a robot.
They put a
So
robot
like
in a robot?
in a robot?
Yes, they put a robot in the cockpit of a mech.
Yo, dog, I heard you like robots.
So I put a robot in your robot.
That roboception.
So, with that in mind, let me select the mech, delete the mech, freehand. You crush the cockpit and his big arms. He is now big debris in your way, and there's still down there. And they're going to be doing a morale check.
I got big plans for that big debris.
Kind of figured. So, with that in mind...
Wait, like combat plans, or like I know what I'm doing with my Saturday night plans?
They make a save.
Let's let that be a surprise, shall we?
Ah.
And this is what happens. They rolled a natural 1 on their checks, and
Explode.
this one passes out. So this one right here, he passes out. He just collapses in the pool of his friend's blood from the dog who's just wagging his tail, I bet. The other two look at each other, look inside the door, and then suddenly walk in open the gates, walk in, and close themselves in. And you hear a very distinct manly voice go, "Hey, come here, pretty boy." And you hear a very high-pitched squeal going, "It's better than the alternative."
Oh well.
So combat ends, and
Wow.
everybody gets divided by how many are you? 375 experience points.
And then we get our power points and HP back, correct?
Power points and health points go back to normal. And if you want a explanation of how this is done, Lily heals you guys. There you go. That was magic. There.
Heals cast on rest.
You take them down.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna lift up some of that debris and start and just huck it at the walls. And yeah, you better run.
I'm gonna pick up that severed arm and I'm gonna walk over to Lily and just like drop it on our lap or like at our feet.
You drop it over. She looks a little disgusted and she goes, "Thank you." Just like a child going, "Yeah, the dog just brought home a dead bird." Mom, where are you, Mom? The dog brought home a dead bird.
I'm gonna start eating again.
What do we do with the sleepy one?
He's passed out, and you can't. And right now, that's all I'm going to say. He is passed.
I'm asking my allies. What shall we do with him?
Oh, I'll pick up the arm again and just stare at him.
He's
Wag my tail.
he's out cold. He's knocked unconscious.
I'll clamber over the debris.
All right, you clamber over. You clamber over the debris. Make a dexterity check
Oh Lord.
to see how gracefully you get over that debris. You get over the debris rather easily.
Can I try and push the debris aside for everybody else?
Yeah, make a strength check.
I appreciate that. I am not the guy that should be doing dex checks.
Huh. And that's your strength? Yeah, that's your strength. You push, and you're barely able to get a path open, but you do get a path. Material seems to be heavier than you originally thought it was going to be.
So not only did I have that one really embarrassing 4E like 3-1-2-1, when I recorded a 13th Age session for a preview for Roll20, I had a character that just did the exact same thing. It threw a sword off into nowhere. And so another recording, just fudging up all my rolls.
Can't be helped.
So with that in mind, you guys make it to the jail cells, and there's the guy unconscious. What do you guys do with him? There is the jail cell behind you, and if you look inside, there appears to be a very startled-looking woman who looks a little crazy. She's got tattoos all over her body. She's bald, and I can't say it because it might like cause legal ramifications, but it looks like a particular crazy person from Effect Mask.
Yeah, as soon as you said bald tattoos, I knew who you were going for.
She just looks a little insane as she's looking out at you, and she just goes, "Oh boy, toughies."
I point down at the unconscious guy and look over at the tattooed lady. What, friend of yours?
She goes, "No," and she spits on the ground. "Will you let me out of here?"
I walk past everybody. I look into that one jail cell that was better than the alternative. I glare at him and say, "I'm telling everybody."
There's currently a very huge man petting the top of his head, going, "There, little girl. We'll make a good, fine couple." And the authority member is squeaking, going, "Just don't make any sudden movements. Don't make any sudden movements. I'll be fine."
I don't know, guys. What do you think? This could be we could like this could be a good time to like recruit one or both.
Don't much like these humans, though.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear what you said.
I don't much like these human authority folks, though. Don't trust them.
Yeah, it's a good point. They're kind of.
Calzino, make an awareness roll. Add your wisdom bonus.
You got it, and my wisdom is actually pretty good because we messed with my stats earlier. I was about to lowball that. So, 1d20 plus 5. I'm not very aware.
Okay.
The goldfish bowl is a little dirty.
I'm glad I'm not the only one tonight.
The rolls, they are not quite in everybody's favors. It just makes the game more fun. So, you guys get past. He's currently in there being petted. Here, I'll draw a dude. I'll draw a little dude patting his head. There we go.
That is indeed a very large man.
Oh, it's so tender.
Oh.
Patting his head, and
sweet.
he's now falling asleep.
So beautiful.
The authority member still looks extremely worried.
Didn't these guys bring their power malls into the cells? I'm just saying,
Yes.
like that seems suboptimal.
The power mall is actually inside. If you look a little closely inside the big man's mouth, indeed there is the hilt sticking out. He is using it like a pacifier. He has stuck it into his mouth and is sucking on the wall.
Okay.
The other guy, on the other hand, seems to have fared
Right.
much better. This guy, on the other hand, he seems to have fared much better. He is in a empty cell.
An empty cell, found $5. He's doing pretty good today. Didn't die.
He's got his maw. He's currently looking at the door and he got raised, and he's just like narrowing his eyes at you, like, if you guys come in here, I'm willing to put up a fight.
I'm gonna walk over and throw a piece of rotting fruit straight at him.
He jumps.
I have magic powers, sure. I can actually shoot you through the bars. I feel as though
goes,
you should be
"Bite me!"
aware.
Bite me, you freaking fish!
Okay.
Oh,
Powers
this one got
outside of
spunk.
combat are free, right?
The what? Yes, they are free out of combat, but if it's not successful in subduing him, it will initiate combat.
How about if I just like Kalnazo's amazing lightning him like 12 times? Will that subdue him?
Subdue him, make your attack, if you wish to do so.
Okay, here's the thing. My character would, but for the sake of not being a douchebag player, I'm going to allow the session to continue and not bog us down in useless combat.
Okay.
Zap the bars, intimidate him a bit.
Yeah.
You zap the bars, he jumps, and he goes, "What the hell you guys want anyway?"
Oh, this is a role-playing encounter. So okay, 2 questions. Number 1, do we actually know what the lady we're here to rescue looks like? Can we confirm that this is she?
The girl in the cell,
Yes.
that is not her.
That's not her. Okay.
You have been given a very odd description. All of you are currently down there. Did I grab everybody? Yes. All of you are currently down there looking at him, and it's not her. The description you got was she is
She looks kind of like a lady, like a regular lady.
she looks human, but there are dragon characteristics about her, but she is not half dragon. She is a different type of race from a gas giant. She's like the space version of dragon. Human
Okay.
dragon. So when you encounter her, you know you got her. And down the hall, you actually see a small room with a bunch of security features and a door. And he kind of points down, and the authority member kind of like backs up a little bit. He goes, "Let me guess, you're here for the freaking dreamer."
That is a very astute observation. I do not know who the dreamer is, so maybe.
He goes, yeah, the dreamer. We brought her in a couple of weeks ago. She's supposed to be the he kind of snaps his finger a little bit trying to remember. He goes, daughter of a big crime boss or something. So I'm figuring you guys came down here, messed up my my robot. You must be here for her. You wouldn't be here for the big lug or the insane lady.
Oh, that's very nice of you to volunteer that information. And I turn to Dogs like, see, these guys aren't so bad. They're trying to help us.
He spits on the floor at you. He goes, stupid fish.
Okay, well, while you're trying to help us, can you tell us where this dreamer lady is so we can get out of here and stop breaking your toys?
He looks down the hall. He says, down the hall, but you won't be able to get through.
Okay, what else is down there?
He goes, you're going to need... And he looks down at Chevron's hand, and Chevron, make a leap in logic. Is your do you have leap in logic?
No, I don't. I'm.
So your wisdom
I'm a dog.
bonus, your wisdom bonus plus the D20. Natural 20.
Oh my! I'm so.
From the look in the guy's eyes,
I would trade these rolls for you. I'm sorry.
He looks down at the arm, and it dawns on you as though a spur of inspiration. You guys will not be able to get through without a handprint, and to be more specific, his handprint.
The guy that we're talking to?
The guy you're talking to.
Why him specifically? Does he have a...
He mentioned, he did mention, and Chevron heard it, he did mention it was his robot, not his team's robot, it was his robot. He appears to be the leader. Hence he got the nicer cell.
Oh, okay.
So wait, did they take a minute to like set it up? Okay, I'm the boss here. You go in there with the possible molester. I get the digs.
Who
What
knows?
are these bars made out of? Are these bars? How thick are they?
They appear to be normal everyday bars.
Jaws of life to try and bite
iron
open
bars.
the. Can I use Jaws of life to try and bite through the?
Make your
like
attack
pry
roll.
open the bars.
Make your attack roll.
On the bars?
On the bars. You're attacking the bars. Jaws of life versus the bars fortitude. They are bars. Describe how you tear your way through tissue paper.
Walks up to it. It kind of looks like she's you hear like a whistle, maybe some compressed gas leaks out from one of her ears, and then just in a quick, lightning flash of a snap, bars, a bunch of condensed air, smoldering hot and boiling, kind of falls, smoking from beneath her teeth.
The guy suddenly backs into the corner and he goes, "Oh man, why are you saying the robotic pooch in here?"
Okay, now wait. Let's give this guy a chance. He's been very nice to us so far. Would you like to come and unlock the
I don't
door?
need your charity.
Okay, fine. Take his arm off. Shit, I tried. Apparently, he doesn't need two arms. Excuse me. I'll just be over here, not being a space wizard.
He suddenly puts up his arms, and do you approach him, Chevron?
Looks back at Fishman, and he seems like he's the one that has the beef with him. I was just opening up the door.
I thought this guy was gonna be our friend, but apparently, oh no. He doesn't want to be friends with a goldfish, because he's a bigot.
Dowchin, what are you going to do? Titus and Dowchin, you've been very quiet.
Yeah, I'm just kind of taking everything in. I kind of want to go back and talk to the tattooed lady because she seems useful and also hateful of our enemies.
All right. Go back over and talk to her. We'll get to your conversation in a moment. Lily has followed you as well, and she has asked to sit on your shoulder again.
Yep, sure.
All right. She looks very comfy and very happy to be away from what's about to happen down the road. So, Titus, what do you do? Okay,
I'm
he's
gonna
going.
walk up to where the door, quote unquote, has been opened, and I'm gonna be like, look, do you want the arm to come with us, or do you want to come with the arm? And I'm gonna try and use the fact that I just crushed the the mech in half as a bully.
As bully? All right,
Yes,
very
'cause
important
he's
thing about bully. Bully is essentially just diplomacy, only using your strength.
So I have to make a show. Okay.
You have to make a show of it. You're bullying him.
All right. Well, then I will go in through where it was not opened, and then I'll ask him the same question.
Make your roll.
It's gonna Kool-Aid man through the wall, huh?
Kool-Aid Manning through the wall.
Oh, shit.
You
Do you want to re-roll or reload roll 20 just so you can get some new dice?
I don't know if Roll20
He's
has a
already
dice jail
freaking
function.
he's already freaking scared. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to
Oh
you.
man, this has just been. See, like, I came here, like, I don't talk much, but I came to be the comedic relief.
He's sufficiently scared. He gets up. He says, "Fine, fine. I'll go with you. Just keep the dog and the fish away from me."
You have been very helpful today, sir. If we encounter your boss going through here, assuming we don't kill him, I will put in a very good word for you. Excellent customer service.
He looks at you, and you could almost feel like he is slightly frowning at you through the mask, as if, I'm actually very perplexed by this fish really having a sense of humor at this point.
I'm
gonna go and I'm gonna pick him up with my middle legs and keep eating rotting fruit like on top of his head, and just let little crumbs and stuff fall off on him.
Oh my god. So we'll say this: you, the authority member, Chevron, and Calnizo all are ready to go. All right. So finally, there's a woman in the cell that Diaochin wants to talk to. She looks at you as you return, and she says, "You gonna open the door?"
Yes, but you must assist us in ridding this place of these vermin.
She goes, "Oh, really? You want me to help?"
Yes.
She nods and she goes, "You'll get me out of here? On your ship?"
That's the deal, yes. Oh, on the ship. Yep. I have control over that. So, yes.
All right. Hang on one second. She was a throwaway character. So let's see here. We'll go with, I like that picture. That picture's fun. Wait, hold on. Are you recording Roll20 or out of curiosity?
Yeah, I'm doing a window capture.
All right. I don't know how Ubisoft would like me using that, so I'm just going to have to find the closest facsimile.
Let's find a fan rendition.
I mean,
Oh, wait. Actually, you're right. Fan art.
Well, be careful of that, actually.
Hang on, I'll make sure I link.
Yeah, keep safe search on.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Ubisoft has better things to do than go after us for, using a token in Roll20. And hey, if they do, they're in Montreal. We'll just have Quinn talk to them, and they'll Canadian it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well,
they're
Canadian
French
diplomacy.
Canadian and they're much angrier.
Ah. I mean, we can just like give them bread and stuff, right?
Oh my god. So here we go. And where is it? Where is it? Oh, I put in my other folder. Then. Hang on. There we go. And I'll quickly visit the Tumblr. I'll get the artist's name. Oh, good lord! Maybe we don't want to link that particular artist.
That's what I was afraid of.
We'll just say that it, just type in Jack. You'll easily find the picture, and it's very small. So we apologize. We wanted to link, but in any case, so not Jack
Jill,
comes to the door and says, "All right, I'll follow you, only because you're going to let me be on your ship. All right."
that's the plan.
Lily nods and she goes, "You're very full of determination, aren't you?" She goes, "What are you, some kind of talking porcelain doll?" She's
On the nose, actually.
and she actually says that. She goes, "On the nose," and boops her own nose like a kid and smiles. Not Jack simply glowers at her and goes, whatever, as long as I'm getting off this rust bucket. So you all go down, and as you go down, you notice in the corner of your eye as you pass, the authority man has fallen asleep in the big giant lug's arms. He looks very peaceful. He also looks like he's not breathing, but that might just be the trick of the light.
I hope they're very happy together.
So, you all come to the security checkpoint. You can feel free to move your pieces down. I'm kind of like moving them down one by one.
I mean, I'm okay with that. It's in my best interest to not be in front of the big dude.
Hide inside my craw.
As you walk up, the authority member goes up to the security checkpoint, and you see him go through a couple motions. There's a hand scanner, an eye scanner. He lifts his face mask, and he does. You know what? Everybody roll for an awareness check. Everybody rolls for awareness as he lifts his face mask.
What do I add to that again? Was that wisdom?
Wisdom, or unless you have the skill trained.
I will be grateful for leap and logic at this point.
You can roll a leap in logic if you wish.
Nope, too late. Already got an 8.
All right. Okay. Dao Chen is the only one who notices. He grew up on a death world where life was, for lack of better words, so hostile it was beautiful. Now, because of that, he recognizes what life looks like. This guy looks like he was grown out of a beaker. He looks wrong.
Symmetrical, too much, too perfect. He's weird.
Lily nods and she goes, "He is rather weird, isn't he? All of them are."
I'm just impressed that Doc knows the word symmetrical.
Thank you. It's the word of the day.
These guys like
Totally did.
stars out. Like, oh.
Got a calendar.
So, he opens up the door and he takes a step back. He goes, "All right, your guys' funeral." And you guys enter. Hang on. Feel free to pop yourselves through the door. I'm currently drawing it.
Yes, pop yourselves to the drawer while I describe what's on the other side. How
I'm
many hideous
going
monsters?
to stay back with this dude because I'm gonna throw him in front of me if I get the chance.
How very kind of you.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Wait, what's your role again? Wielder?
My role is tank.
Tank? Yeah, that's kind of an anti-tank thing to do.
I mean, like, if I don't have to tank, that means I can tank longer when I have to tank. I'm playing the long game. He can eat damage, and then I'll eat the damage he absorb. I'll eat at least more. Yeah, I'm words.
Someone will eat something.
Somebody will eat something. It's probably involves rotting fruit.
I was gonna say.
So, all of you walk through the door, and inside you notice it looks very sterile, very clean. There is tables, lab equipment, and up on a dais, right here. Hang on, I messed up my dais. Up on a dais, in a very small tank, right here, there is what appears to be a dragonish woman suspended in a clear liquid. She is clothed, but she seems to be unconscious and mumbling.
Score. Our princess is in this castle.
All right, grab the tank. Let's go.
Start moving towards the tank.
You start moving towards the tank. Lily's on your shoulder. Chevron, what are you doing? Not Jack, by the way, has kind of taken a step in, and she says under her breath, "I heard so many screams coming down from here. I always wonder what was inside." Just like kind of like nonchalantly.
Chevron, can I use smell to see if there's any other people in this room? Obviously, I probably can't smell stuff inside a tank, just stuff with my awareness skill.
Go ahead, do your awareness skill. In fact, use your awareness power. I think you have that. Don't you? Yeah, super.
Whew.
That's rolling
Yeah.
well.
I heard there
It's
were
all that
people
blood
called
getting to
heroes
my
somewhere.
circuits.
Never met one.
You walk in and it is so freaking sterile. You're amazed at there's like no smells at all in this room. Like none at all. Like you guys are tracking in the smell. There's no smells in this room. Large ventilated tubes going into the walls. All clean, all sterile. Control panels hooking up to the tank. There's cables running to the tank from the control panels. Cables running over, cables running back to these. And as you are walking towards the tank, Lily hops off at this point and kind of watches as she goes, "We gotta find out how to get her out of that thing."
I mean, you can always break the glass. I'm just saying it would work well enough for me.
Don't zap it, Space Wizard.
I was gonna zap it. You got a hammer?
Oh, okay.
Titus and...
But thank you for calling me Space Wizard. It makes me feel good.
Lily looks back at you. Are you guys through the door?
I suppose I will enter.
All right, you enter. As you enter, she goes, the Space Wizard has graced us with his presence.
Yes, he has!
Very bloatedly. Very cockily, yeah.
More like putting a point. Yes, I am the space wizard. Thank you.
As you all enter, you all get a very sudden chill as she shifts in her sleep. And suddenly, what seems to be a very crude drawing appears. It is of what appears to be a very crude drawn, half dragon and half man, and it is currently looking up at all of you, cocking its head.
Oh, are we in chalk zone? Sweet.
Hello.
It doesn't respond.
We mean you probably no harm, maybe harm. I look back. Harm?
It still doesn't respond. It just
Maybe.
keeps looking at you.
The fish shrugs. I'm not rolling anything out just yet.
I'm gonna start running towards the glass. I was like, I think we maybe hurry.
You start moving towards the glass, and as you do, a very big, very large drawing suddenly appears in front of you. Roll for initiative.
Oh.
Am I the only one that noticed she was dreaming about a whole bunch of dudes?
By the way, each of them are drawn differently. One is Dragon Man. One appears to be a woman. One appears to be
I rolled above a 10, guys.
Woo.
Woo!
Enjoy it. It's not about to happen in combat.
I will take what I can get.
All right, so initiatives. Chevron. What'd you get? 13?
1 second. I had
Wait.
another window pulled up. I was looking at my character sheet.
That was your other roll. Titus, you got a 17. Chevron got 25. Calzio got. Where are you?
18.
Ted the Goldfish got 18. Dao Chen got 15. Now I'm rolling for them. All right. They got very low. She rolled 1. Big guy got okay. And the little guys got. Oh, okay. So, almost forgot. She's on the board as well. And she got lowest roll, a measly 2. So, very first up on the board is Chevron.
Okay.
These guys treat no smell at all. These, for lack of better words, figments of imagination.
Going to. They don't make any smell. That's like my only thing that this freaking dog can do. I'm going to my. Well, that'd be my right, but on the left side, that's the closest one, right? The one closest to the tattooed girl.
Yep.
In between and the potentially illusion, taking a defensive stance.
All right, growling at it. All right. And then you hold your second action.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold that.
All right, you hold it. You can spring that action at any time from this point onward. All right. So next up are the figments of imagination. Let's see here. Where are they? Here we go. They move. They duplicate and move. You suddenly are surrounded by figments of imagination. Each one different. All of them look like they're crude drawings of a child's. You know, have you ever played Psychonauts? They're like that.
I've never actually played Psychonauts, but I do appreciate the reference.
Awesome. So that's their go. Next up is Calzio,
Okay.
the fish with the rock hands.
A fish with rock hands. Well, this fish with rock hands is thinking that maybe the best bet might be to play defensively. I am hopefully not in any immediate danger, and I think the tanks can take a little bit of beating. I'm thinking it might be best to defend the dog. So I am actually going to attempt to cast my my "You'll Thank Me Later" ice prison spell on the far figment of imagination that is not being flanked by the dog and the crazy lady.
This one?
That's the one.
All right.
And that is that one I think just uses, or is that, no, that's not my Dweomer. That's the spells. So 1d, or sorry, /r 1d20 plus 8 versus fortitude. Crap. Where's the fortitude of pretend?
Their fortitude? Describe how you kill it.
Does it kill it? Because I was just trying to imprison it.
Oops.
Well, it does damage, right? Oh no, it just holds them for 12.
Yeah, you tell me, dude. You made the game.
Yes, you kill it.
Okay.
You hold it, and because it's a figment of imagination, it just poofs.
Hey, look at that. I'm better than I thought.
Next up is the ultra mega figment of imagination, who will
the super imagination.
What, the idea that adults make money?
He creates more figments of imagination, and then they all attack. All the figments of imagination as the very large one, which actually seems to be a very crude drawing of Titus.
Guys, I don't think that rotten fruit is sitting well with me.
Oh.
What is everybody's fortitude save?
14.
14?
10.
Yes.
10. Does anybody have a higher roll than 17?
I'm guessing no, because I know.
No.
All right. Everybody is hit for... Let me roll for damage. I just gotta make sure that I didn't muck up this power right here that he just threw at.
God.
Yep.
Guys, first I told you.
31 points of damage.
Holy.
So remember how I told you that 22 killed me once and a half times? We've officially hit over twice.
Okay.
Insta-jib.
As for Calzino, you were not attacked. You simply took a 5-foot step, and it was not focused on you, so you were not targeted.
Sure, let's say that.
Because that would kill you.
Why?
That would
that
be an
killed me
insta-jib.
too.
And they're going to focus on the bigger thing in the room.
What was it, 26, 28?
It was 26, yes. Wait, was it? Yes. I think I calculated that right.
Or was it
No,
30? What did you say, 32?
No, it was 32. It was 32.
That is the amount of hit points that I
because
have.
they get the plus from the large guy. So
Yeah.
how it works is the big guy just created more of them. All of them only take one hit. In fact, you don't even have to hit him. You just gotta rush through them. But the problem is he busts them up and hits you with all of them at once.
Right. Yeah, that 32 is the quantity of hit points that I have. So I'm down.
All right. You're down. So you're down to 0. Titus, you're still up.
Dog is probably
You're
down.
also down.
Yeah, Chevron is no more. She has been. She is now met with her old owner by the looks of it.
So hang on, let me just
She
calculate.
has left.
Good luck, Titus.
All right, you're currently at -4. You're currently okay. In order to permanently die, you have to reach -15. But now that you're down, you get you are continually hit for 1 point of damage until you are healed back up. So you're just knocked unconscious and bleeding out.
Oh no, the poor dog.
And Deo-chan, you're currently okay, but you're just at 0. You're not technically bleeding out. If you went to the negative, bleeding. So right now you're kind of in a limbo. You're unconscious. So with that in mind, next up is Titus. You're still up.
We need to wake this chick up now.
And you said that we can move through these guys, or was that meta knowledge?
You can move through the guys. You can you can actually just wave your hand, but it takes an action. Or you can just walk through them. They are literally figments of imagination. They go
Right.
down easily.
Okay, so we have figured that out at this point.
Yes. Like the giant held spell, it should not have done that. But because it was ice, when it hit its body, it just kind of poofed away.
I'm gonna come over here, walk through all those guys.
So which ones do you walk through?
Those and these.
You walk through both of them. Hang on. As I said, I'm currently have my laptop looking at your character sheets and the initiative, and on my main computer, which has my good mic, I am currently doing the Roll20. So those guys are dead. These guys are dead. And what do? You move over. It takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces to get to where you are. So that's a full move action. What do you do?
I'm gonna smack the big dude.
All right, you smacked the big dude. Make an attack roll. Is that versus his armor class or fortitude?
It's a basic attack. It's my
Basic
natural
attack
weapons.
is versus his armor class. You do hit, roll for damage. He doesn't go down, though. He's tougher than the other figments. He's the boss of this campaign. 13 points. He does not go down, but you tear off slices of imagination out of yourself, basically. Remember, this is a crude drawing of you.
Okay. For once, I'm happy about rolling a 4.
It is a good roll. So, with that in mind, next up is Jiao-Chen, but you're currently knocked unconscious. Next up is Lily, who will... Yep, I think now's the time to do it. She's going to heal 17 points of healing to both Chaozu and Dio-chan. You are healed back up, and she does it again.
I didn't. You said I 5-foot stepped, right? So I guess I don't need healing? Or do I? You decide.
You were not attacked.
Okay. So, yeah,
Well,
then it should just be Doc and Chevron.
Yeah, it's just Doc and Chevron. Both of them are healed as Lily takes a 5-foot step and does a blast of healing energy. So I'm going to make that yellow. Here we go. Yellow. Of healing energy. And you are healed for 28 points of damage. So, with that in mind, Chevron and Daochen, Chevron, you still have that action you can do, but you have to get up off the ground, which will take a skill check. And Daochen, you didn't go, so you have 2 actions you can do, but you're going to have to make an check to get up off the ground for free. Otherwise, they'll take an action.
I might as well give it a shot.
All right, rolling. You successfully tumble to your feet.
Screaming like, ah!
Oh,
No
one can take me down.
Oh God, I'm still in the nightmare. And I start swinging the hammer.
You're filled with such ravenous determination to kill this monster.
Yeah.
Chevron, you are you going to make a roll to get back up, or are you going to use that other action to get up?
Extra action that I had and just get that out of the way.
All right, you just get up normally. So Daochen, you have 2 actions. It is your turn.
All right, I'll go ahead and use my big power again. This time it should actually work, I hope. Versus AC.
Versus AC, that is a hit.
Okay. All right, that is actually 23 points of damage after the doubling.
All right, 23 points of damage. Describe how you start breaking it up, but it's still not down. Describe what you do.
So it's just one massive swing as I'm like trying to just clear away as much of the kind of gossamer dreamlike material as possible. Like, make it go away.
Bad dreams, bad things.
Kill the nightmares.
All right, and with that in mind, it is bottom of the round with the girl, and not Jack has suddenly disappeared. She is gone. She is currently outside going, ain't nobody got time for this. Ain't nobody got time for that. She runs out, and the girl,
Thanks for nothing.
she does not wake up, so top of the round. I need initiatives.
Chevron has 24.
Ted the Goldfish has 16.
Titus is at 11.
Titus got 11. And all right. Lily actually got a good roll that time. The girl and Mega Figment of Imagination got. Ooh. Okay. And the figments themselves. Huh. They rolled very well. Rolled a 25. So the figments of imagination go next. And they duplicate. So this one duplicates. This one duplicates. This one duplicates. That one duplicates. This one duplicates. That one duplicates. That one duplicates. That one duplicates. That one duplicates, and they all surround fish, and they all surround the dog and Lily.
Holy cow.
And that is their go.
Where's the dog?
The dog, right here,
Diagonal. Yeah, I'm diagonal to Lily.
diagonal to Lily. And the fish is surrounded by death.
I look forward to this outcome.
So, next up is Chevron. Remember, these are figments. You can easily just walk through them and kill them.
Man, I don't know. Chevron has like a -1 for her intelligence. I just don't know if she would. She's totally in like protection mode. She's
Do what you do. If you ever have doubt of what your character would do, roll 4. Evens does, odds doesn't.
I think Chevron would still be trying to protect the little girl, a la like her old owner. So if she's gonna let me, can I occupy the same space as Lily and like kind of
Yes.
hunker
can
down
occupy the-
underneath? What's that?
You can occupy the same space as an ally. And considering both of you are tiny sized, so half of a square, both of you easily occupy.
Cool. I will move to. Oh, she's gone. Oh, I'm gone. Whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna occupy that same space. I'm gonna take. So that's one of my action points. Use my other one for just a regular attack.
But that's a 5-foot step, so that was free. So you have still 2 action
Cool.
points.
Yeah, then I am going to. I'll still attack. I'll just do a regular bite on the one. All right, trying to open up a gap.
All right. Make your attack. You have to roll pretty low in order to miss.
Tell that to the dog. She's just a dog.
You do hit. It kills it. So the one on the right. Right? This one? That one's gone. And what else do? You have one more action.
I'm going to save that action point because that saved my hide, I felt like last time.
All right. You save your action point. Next up is Daochen.
All right, check these dungeoneering strats. I'm gonna use an action to use my big game hunter's mark on the beetle, Titus.
All right.
So just give him a little touch. We'll get him, bud. And you have fungus starts growing out of your limbs, but it makes you more accurate. And so you get +3 to your attacks for this round. And then I'm going to take my 5-foot step to the left.
All
So
right.
destroy those buggers.
Take a 5-foot step. They are gone.
And for my second action, I'll just make a regular attack against the big guy.
All right. Make your attack.
$20.
Roll for damage.
$16.
16. Describe how you kill it.
Oh, man. All right. So after that, I'm like, all right, setting up for a big blow. Yeah. Just bring the hammer down and I suppose inadvertently smash it right on the head and annihilate its dream stuff.
All right. But the round's not over yet. Calzino, what's your dexterity?
He just walked off.
As he steps away from the camera.
I'll take a quick look. Yeah, Lily goes first. Lily is going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So she's going to end up in this space, but she walks around and she looks like a little girl as she goes, "Go away, shoot, shoot, go away." nasty little buggers and destroys the figments of imagination about to kill poor Calzino. And up next is Calzino, but he walked away. So we're going to say his action is held. Titus, you're up next because the Mega got killed.
Hang on a second. Let me do some counting.
Titus, make a leap in logic using your wisdom bonus.
I return.
Nope. Calzino, make a leap in logic.
Leap in logic, you got it. That was a plus 12, if memory serves. Yes. That's what I wrote down, at least. 1d20 plus 12. I look forward to the ensuing 13. 14!
Hey, it's 14!
Hey.
All right. It dawns on Calzino. These are figments of imagination. And every time the bottom of the round comes around, the girl stirs. You gotta wake her up, unless more is going to keep pouring out.
I would like to point out it dawned on Calzino last round that we had to wake her up.
Your suspicions are confirmed.
Guys, I'm really sure this time we gotta wake this chick up. Like, I wasn't...
Had a hunch.
Beating things up.
Call it near-death intuition.
So, it dawns on you. What do? It is your turn.
Okay, I am going to try to polymorph the nose off of the tank and shatter it.
Okay. You polymorph the tank. Make your attack roll. You have 2 attacks, so you're doing it.
This is the point cost in this is going to take up both of them.
All right. So you successfully open up the tank. Goo and blue liquid suddenly goes across the floor. Electrical outlets are hit. Everything is hit.
I just killed us all, didn't I?
Sparks are flying everywhere as the water goo hits, and she comes falling out. Whether she wakes up or not is at bottom of the round. So next up is Titus.
I'm going to go ahead and pick her up and say, well, let's get out of here.
You pick her up, and Chevron, what do? You still have that last action before her go.
There's no sense in using my power attacks or anything now. I think, just to be sure, can I move out ahead? Make sure we're not getting, like, boxed in?
Yeah, if you want.
I'll do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. Okay, so I'm gonna get like 2 spaces in front of her.
All right. As you pass Jack, she's currently looking in the door going, holy crap, you guys are still alive.
Yeah, thanks for the help.
She just shrugs her hands. She goes, I was just a drug dealer. What am I supposed to do?
I don't know. You could pay us back for, letting you out of that cage and whatnot. But no, that's okay. You go on. You feel good about yourself, what you did today.
All right. Making the roll to see if she wakes up. And I rolled a 19. She wakes up. So she wakes up in Titus's arms. She shakes her head. She looks up. And as she does so, the last of the figments of imagination disappear. Everyone gets 600 experience points. That was a very nasty battle. Everybody still there?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So she wakes up. She said, and she looks at Titus and she goes, who are you? You're not authority.
Nope.
Understatement of the century.
I'm a
Just
giant beetle. What the fuck do you think I am?
She goes, did my father send you?
Yep.
She goes, excellent. Those bastards were performing experiments on me, trying to weaponize my dreams. As she suddenly looks around at everybody hurt and mangled and the water everywhere and sparks flying and everyone panting, and she goes, did I hurt you?
It was pretty cool.
I pooped a little.
What was that, Calzino?
I said, I pooped a little.
That's what the filtration system's for.
Yeah.
What
I gotta
filtration system? I thought we established there wasn't one.
I gotta get one installed on the golem.
Well, you're about to get paid a whole lot of money. So, you guys successfully
Purchase one is the toilet.
The what?
Purchase one is the toilet.
Oh Lord. So, you guys successfully get back to the ship with the girl in hand. Clamp is back at the ship, and you guys don't have to move your stuff, but Clamp is back at the ship, and there are authority members, and Gloria is actually standing next to him. Plasma raining out of her hands as she goes, excellent. You guys have had just enough time to get back on the fucking ship. All of you get onto the ship, and the docking clamps unlatch, and as it does so, through the viewport, you notice that as it opens, remember it was cut in, as you do so, authority members go flying out into space.
I wish I would have brought my arm with me. There's a little keepsake for all of us.
Just a tear goes down your eye as you see it spiral
See the
past
arm
the
like
window.
floating off into the nothingness of space. Just
Sad puppy dog eyes.
You
We should have picked up, backed the ship out first. That would have saved us a lot of trouble. Oh well.
Athrana comes in and babies the girl. It's like a nanny talking to the girl. Girl looks to be like 18. So it's like, oh, are you okay? Your father was so worried about you. And she's like, go away, leave me alone.
I'm gonna offer her a piece of fruit.
Is it rotten?
Of course.
Of course.
Yes.
It's probably better than what she's been eating.
She looks at it, raises an eyebrow, and she goes, huh, no one's ever offered me rotten fruit before, and she picks it up and she eats it. Now, I'm going to say this for Daochen. You've heard of her species before. They're like space dragons. They breathe sulfur for the first 14 years of their life, and then they can start breathing oxygen. And in all reality, they also eat rotten things, and most things are minerals. So that rotten fruit was actually probably a good dessert.
Not approvingly.
good all along.
Good job.
You guys is weird. Space is weird.
And as all of you check your intergalactic credits, you now have 100,000 more credits in your account. And with that, the rescue mission is a success.
Yay!
So, how did everybody enjoy it?
That was a cool system.
Yeah.
I do have to say though, if in the final version the PowerPoints aren't going to recharge, some of my stuff was really expensive. Like I might have a fight or two in me, and then I'd be drained for the day.
Same here.
Like, currently in the system, it is highly recommended that PowerPoints and health points regenerate at the end of battle, because that way you can have these awesome encounters and do awesome things without having to sit down in a dungeon and recharge. It's completely optional.
Okay,
But-
cool.
But there's also two different types of campaigns. The one you guys played was a heroic campaign. There's also commoner and godly. Godly is this, only balls off the walls. You can play superheroes, do crazy things. Your power matrix starts at 20 at level 1. And the other one is commoner, where everything is very diminished and you are basically a commoner. So that one you might want to have your powers slowly regain over time, because that one's more for people who like survival and horror.
Cool.
Sure, that makes sense. Yeah.
So, with that, what did you think of the system? Did you feel like you had a lot of freedom?
And as far as character creation, yeah, definitely. As far as, coming up with my own spells and figuring out that way, it did. I mean, yeah, also that definitely, I didn't personally have a whole lot of reference with which to draw on to build them, by which I mean I didn't know how they worked. But if that's well explained, like in the core book or whatever, yeah, it's I very much enjoyed character creation for this. I got to play a fucking goldfish riding a robot. This is pretty great.
Yeah, I like it's very Fate Core-esque.
Mm-hmm.
To decide your own abilities and stuff. I do get how that's. I don't know if you've played Fate Core before, but it's very much.
I love playing the Dresden Files system. I absolutely love playing the Dresden Files, and that's Fate.
Yeah, very reminiscent of that, and that's always a good system. Players and seasoned players.
Mm-hmm. And you'll all be happy to note, because you have the ability to pick out any powers you want, we do have a very small section that's completely in red that basically says no death powers. Everything has to have mechanics, because I originally came up with a character that could open portals, and I was like, why can't I just open a portal and drop him anywhere? And thus the no death powers clause was put in, so nothing that would render an enemy immediately destroyable. It has to be mechanics based.
So you broke your own game.
No, I didn't. It was part of the mechanics, because here's the thing. Those figments of imagination were minions. In Hero Builder, you can summon minions. They are very small, very easily hidden. I simply lowered it to you can just simply walk through them and hurt them and make them go away. But the big one buffed them all up, and suddenly you were attacked for all this damage from all different sides as they multiplied. Yeah. So mechanically, they were not a death power. They did not kill you immediately. They all worked mechanically, and as for them being killed, if I hadn't made it like you guys had to roll to hit them, it just would not have been fair. You guys would not have been able to deal with the multiplication of them.
Yeah.
So that brings up another point of both encounters that you went through was completely custom made. I made that from hand. There's
Sorry, go ahead.
There was no tables. There was nothing that said, this is what you fought. I said, she can do figments of imagination. I created the powers, and that's what you fought. As for the authority, I set them up. As soon as I knew there was a couple tanks, I made the mech stronger, faster, and would hit even harder.
How do you go about balancing that as a DM? Your Pathfinder system and stuff, they have R ranges. Is it just
how we balance it out?
The system?
How we balance it out is depending on how powerful you want the enemy to be. It's really up to the Hero Master, but the general rule of thumb is the smallest guy. If you want to make a good impression on hitting your heroes, make sure that their biggest power can knock down the smallest character in one hit, and that usually means the tank's health is half.
Mm-hmm.
So in reality, it's up to the Hero Master, and it's really loosely based. Like there was a moment when you guys were fighting the mech, and you guys rolled low, and I was like, well, it's electricity. I gave you that bonus, and you guys were able to hit it. There's a lot of flexibility, so if you mess up at making an encounter, you can easily just correct it on the fly. Because everything works off an experience system. So if, for example, it was taking too long to kill the mech, I would simply lower the health points it needed to go down, and you guys would get less experience points, but the encounter would happen and things would move on. Now, this doesn't negate the fact of dice rolls. So if a dice roll happens like you saw and nothing happened, then Bubkus, nothing happened. Shit goes down. So what do you guys think of that aspect?
Sounds crunchy. I'd have to actually try it out and mess with it to actually be able to give viable feedback with it. I mean, it sounds like you're codifying GM fiat a little bit, which is not a bad thing. It's just I don't know how user friendly it is to have to go up and down a chart to recalculate XP for my GM fiat is.
So we've done our best to streamline that because we understand there are people out there that don't have a whole lot of time. There is a special clause that's in it that if you don't have enough time to create an encounter, as long as you understand what the encounter is, you can fly by the seat of your pants. We have a way for you to basically make the encounter as it happens, and then just simply at the end of it make the experience points. So if somebody attacks an NPC, you can immediately deal with it.
Yeah, I'd be interested in having a look at that for sure.
Yeah, I was about to say I'd have to kind of look at like a hard copy, or maybe not necessarily a hard copy, but actually like a sheet of rules, because a lot of this I was just kind of like going along with whatever. I mean, you could have told me I roll a 1 and I explode, I wouldn't have questioned it. But I actually would like to look at the rules, see how things are explained to players and how they play out. But honestly, like so far what I've played, this has been a lot of fun. I liked being able to come up with any wacko gonzo character I could. I liked I mean, the setting obviously was I love just stuff thrown together like this. It was great. I had a great time. Yes, thumbs up.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I really did enjoy the, like, once I saw what everybody else was doing, I was like, oh, it's literally anything. That was really enjoyable. So
Yeah.
Well, see, yeah, that's what I was at first. I was like, oh, he says anything, and I was like, we'll see. So,
I'll make a regular dog.
regular dog, and he's like, well, it's sci-fi. And I'm like, okay, I'll make a regular cyborg dog. We'll see.
The thing is, if you had walked in here as a regular dog, I would have been, okay, you're a regular dog. I don't know how you got on board, but you're there.
They decided to pay you too.
That freedom's really nice. It's actually pretty refreshing compared to as much as I like mulling through tomes to find cool races and stuff. Just being able to be like, okay, I want to be a robot dog now, and then I get to make up my own associated skills and powers and stuff. That's a I feel like that's pretty keen. It's poignant.
It's pretty
and
amazing.
It's streamlined. It's really streamlined. That's what's it puts all the weight on the player instead of how much time they can dedicate to reading a bunch of books.
Well, I'm very glad. And the thing is, I wasn't quite able to get through it, but like in full, I kind of did for most of you, except for Daochen. You're the only one that experienced the bloodlines in full. So that kind of plays into what that kind of plays into the other. What was your experience with the bloodlines? Because you're the only one that really had the full access to creating your own bloodline.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of crucial for this type of system. Like if you're going to have, I think what I find when you have different systems that are about complete customization, it can be difficult to have both your like active powers, things that your character can do, and then the things that make your character who they are. So in D&D, that's race and class. But it's hard to do that in customization. The Bloodlines thing does it well. I'm sorry, I got to take a quick call. I'll be right back.
It's no problem. So with that in mind, I do have a pre-release copy that I'm still working on. If you guys would like to take a full look at the rules, you all have signed the non-disclosure agreement. So if you guys would like me to send that to you via email, just remember, don't share it around and everything, please. That's all I ask.
Absolutely.
Feel free to take
Yeah,
a
I'd
look
like
through
to see
it,
that.
review it in full. I apologize for the spelling mistakes. There are 3 dyslexics behind this book, so spelling mistakes and my grammar can only be caught as much as they can be.
Hey, no worries.
Gives it
You just
flavor.
described my family. When
That's what editors are for.
when do you think this will actually be like in the wild where we can play it for our home groups?
Well, that is a really curious question. With that in mind, there are 2 possible release dates of the PDF. We plan to do a hardcover copy, and that might be in October because there's a lot of stuff to do with it, and we're going through DriveThruRPG to do that. But the PDF itself will be available maybe before the end of the month, maybe before the end of next month, because all we really need now is our editors to get back to us. Like I said, 3 dyslexic, it's a lot to get through. In fact, it's 81 pages.
That's
but
awesome.
That's it.
That's great.
And as you go through it, you'll also find blank spots, and we have no illustrations in the book as well. Because it's a universal system, we kind of want every book to be unique to the owner. So once the PDF comes out, and when it gets printed, there's blank spots so you can create your own proficiencies, your own skills, your own blood. Like you can write down your own bloodlines. We've left room there. I gotta add those lines in, but so you can record everything down for yourself.
Dude, if you're gonna let people do their own illustrations, you're gonna be at Gen Con one day signing a book full of dick drawings, dude. I'm telling you now.
When doesn't anybody not do that?
Okay, that's a fair point. But
Someone
you don't want to actively encourage penises to decorate your book, I think.
That's a true point. But hey, it's their book. It's up to them. I don't care.
Fair point. Fair point.
Because we have a section where we explain that we want people to take the book, run with it, make their own proficiency, share it, and when they turn old or gray, they can take that book off the shelf, look at it, and remember all the fun they had.
I remember when I drew this penis with the veins.
Are you guys making this on like? Is there gonna be?
It's going to be a PDF, downloadable PDF for purchase with DriveThruRPG, and then it will eventually be a hardbound cover copy of the book for anybody who wants the actual hardcover copy version. But you can download it for PDF.
Do you have any idea what the price point's going to look like?
I can get you that information. Jane! She's coming. She's the one that has that information, a bit more hardline. I think the hardcover copy is going to be $45. I think
Not
that's
bad.
what we.
That's pretty affordable.
And what's the PDF going to cost?
Ow, I don't know your.
Wasn't it like 20, maybe 30? I can't. Like 25, maybe 30. Gotta relook at the number.
In the official.
We sat there and talked about it.
You said, I don't know. You sat there, you were like the exact same thing. 25, 30?
I think it's
don't
25.
know.
I think it might be 25, but don't hold me to that one. Because I definitely know 45 is going to be the hardcover.
Yes.
And I think 25 or 30 for the PDF, but I know it's going to be a bit lower. So people would be able to purchase it, and it's much more available.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. Just out of curiosity, as a creator, how do you arrive at like a decision for the price point of the product?
For arriving at the price point of the product, it's mostly a balancing act between the who's getting a cut of what. So the PDF we can price a bit lower because DriveThruRPG takes a bit of the cut. So we can price it a bit lower and make the same amount off a hardcover, but the hardcover has to be priced more
because cost.
It's the cost of printing. And it's print on demand for them. So we didn't want to pollute Mother Earth. We wanted it you purchase it, you get that book, and that way there's not all this paper wasted in a warehouse if it doesn't take off.
Right, right.
Gotcha.
Do you still
I would
mean-
just
call me my name?
a bit of frank.
Sorry. So what was that?
Just a little frankness. As far as a PDF goes, I know there's other like e-copies of books and stuff like that. Wizards of the Coast. I think there's a Shadowrun PDF now and stuff too, like a pretty in-depth one for something like. And then Fate Core, which is a pretty customizable system and stuff like that. You know, Fate Core's the PDF is free online. How are you marketing that to kind of this sounds a whole lot worse but like justify a price point like that?
Well, the price point is this thing has been in development for 5 years, and as for the PDF, it's not just the PDF, it's, how do I put it? For the PDF and its price point, it's mostly the fact of just so much time and money has gone into getting this thing up off the ground, because we've paid for advertisements, we've paid for legal documents to become an actual corporation. It's a lot has gone into it, and unlike like Fate or Wizards of the Coast, who are very well established, we can't afford that. But maybe one day the PDF might be free. Maybe.
Hey,
Oh, I'm
no
definitely
worry.
not. I know how much work
Because-
goes into
because-
stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah, creators definitely deserve to be, compensated for their work, dude. Absolutely. I don't
Yeah,
begrudge you anything.
Well, here's the thing, because the other thing.
No, not at all. I was just curious how you got to like that specific price, like Ted the Goldfish was asking.
No, I understand.
how
I
you
understand.
like-
And it's an honest question, and to continue off of that, because I say one day maybe the PDF might be free, because we do want people to enjoy it and share it, and the hard copy would still be priced because that costs money to print, and we would like to see profit. But we actually have started a Patreon as well.
Cool.
And the Patreon is, we have a very unique thing in Hero Builder, and we don't mind if this idea is kind of taken out, because it can easily be moved around, but it works best with Hero Builder. We call them floaters. With the Patreon, we're going to produce every month for anybody who pays $1. We produce a floater. And what a floater is, it's basically, for example, I had the idea that you guys were going to be fighting this girl, and the basic ideas of what things looked like, what things were, but just the people. The room itself was not hard lit. I drew that up as I went, because you guys walked in. I was like, okay, she needs to be in something, a tank. She's in a tank. She needs to wake up. They gotta break the tank to help wake her up. So the floater can be inserted anywhere. For example, let's say you want your heroes to encounter this wonderful bandit encounter you made up. Well, they suddenly go into a cave. So the bandits are in the cave now. You simply move the floater to where you need it. So no matter what, the heroes are going along the journey.
Okay, I see what you mean. So it is sort of like miscellaneous pieces that you could use for your campaign that you're giving out as Patreon rewards.
Correct. And here's
modulars. You're providing like modular like encounter pieces, Lego bricks.
Like Lego bricks. We like one of our floaters that which we will be releasing free of charge to kind of show off the power of a floater, is we're actually going to do 2 floaters. We're going to do an NPC and an encounter. One with a giant 2-handed tongued creature that is totally disgusting, but it's going to be a wild ride of an encounter that you can just insert anywhere you want. And the other one is an NPC who is, we call it a darkness. Do you know the Kids Next Door?
Codename Kids Next Door?
You know the guy that was like completely black with red eyes and white teeth?
like the
Yeah,
dad.
Father Dearest.
The father dad?
Yeah.
basically, we've created an entire species out of that concept, and they are made of complete dark. They are made of complete blackness. They have a pure love for bureaucracy. Only with Hero Builder could you say, I killed them with bureaucracy.
You've made the Ventru. How dare you?
Yes, we've made actual Ventru. And here comes a very fun, quick story. I made one of these darknesses. She literally spawned red tape and wrapped it around her enemies and beat them into submission with red tape. Yes? Go ahead.
Okay.
Leave my room. So
I like the open-ended. I like that it's this is completely like whole cloth stuff. Definitely you have my email now. I actually have to get up in like 4 hours. But
that's right, me too.
I really, really appreciate being a part of this, and I'm so glad I got to bring a dog into a spaceship. If you could, I would love to see that, like your progress that you've made so far in this rule book. And I'm the host of the Dragon's Horde podcast on HLG. So if you ever want a little bit of chatter, just let me know, and we can talk about doing like a blurb for you guys.
Actually, you know what? That's a great idea. I run a RPG YouTube channel called Caffeinated Conquest. Maybe you've heard of it. You haven't. Anyway, if you want to do some cross promotion or something, yeah, hit me up. Let me know. That's you've got my business email.
All right, excellent, wonderful. And you've got mine. If you got mine, and I'll send you guys the copies so you can go over them, review them, give us your feedback, because we want that. We want when we release this to make sure we've not missed anything. Like, for example, we have trigger powers. I think one of you had a trigger power where when it's not your turn, you could trigger it. Well, we discovered it had a lot of holes in it, so it's boiled down to a lot of small little rules, and one very important one that says if a trigger power is making everyone not have as much fun, maybe rework the power. Because we can't control everything. But
may I offer feedback on one small thing very quickly?
Yes, we would love the feedback.
I maybe, if I may be so bold as to say so, consider another name for floaters, because floaters carries a bit of unfortunate nomenclature.
What was that?
Maybe consider another
around. It kind of makes it sound like a poo-poo.
A poo-poo or a dead body floating in a river. Yeah.
Dead body.
We'll take a look. We'll take a look and see if there's other names. But right now it's called floaters. But we'll definitely take that into consideration.
I would be remiss if I. Sorry, what now?
You're not the first one that compared it, so.
I don't mean to. No pun intended. I don't mean to crap on what you're doing, but I felt as though I would be remiss if I didn't say something.
I understand, and it is definitely not falling on deaf ears. Now, here's the thing:
join our Patreon. I'll give you my floaters. Sorry, go ahead.
Hey, I gotta bounce off of here, guys. Thank you so much for letting me get on this. It was really exciting. I had a good time.
Thank you, and appreciate it. But before you go, one last question to everybody.
All right.
We asked this of all our playtesters. We have at the very end a place for all the playtesters and the heroes they played. Would you like us to put you in the Hall of Heroes?
Sure.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right. We'll put your guys' names and your heroes in there. So, all right. Excellent. So It was very fun playing with all of you, and
Oh, you cut out there. Sorry.
I'm glad you all enjoyed it.
Very much so.
Yeah,
Gentlemen, it has been a blast. I have got to get a MP3 and a video ready for Quinn, and I don't know, maybe send him something to apologize, basket of maple syrup or something for all the Canadian jokes. Good night, everybody.
Wait, hold on. Fat Americans. They're
there you go.
They're clogging up the arteries. Anyway.
Send him some poutine.
Yeah, there you go.
Gotcha.
All right.
All right.
We'll
talk
see you
to you guys.
All right, good night, everybody. Have a good one.
Good night.
Yeah.
You too.